Hey everyone, Melissa here. For those of you that are new to the page or not familiar with me, my name is Melissa and I am the face behind this page. A little behind the scenes about me, I am actually a certified nutrition coach who focuses on blood sugar stabilization and helping people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic actually stabilize their blood sugar through eating. So when I found the Helo, it just completely made sense for me to want to become partnered with the company because it goes hand in hand with what I do. So I think it's really important that you guys know that about me, that I'm not some person just promoting the Helo, that I actually have a background working with pre-diabetics and diabetics in relation to helping them stabilize their blood sugar and try to reverse, at least for the type 2 diabetics, reverse that through eating healthy. So thanks for joining me tonight. I wanted to go over a few updates, and I apologize that I'm coming on here so late, but wanted to give you a few updates. Some I have already given, but I just kind of wanted to recap what I've learned so far. I'm still getting more information coming out of CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show that just happened in Las Vegas last week. And the company that I represent, Wearable, that makes the Helo, they were the very first company in their industry to be represented at the Consumer Electronics Show. So it was a huge day, or actually huge week for the company as far as making history, not only with their appearance at the show, but also with releasing the very first non-invasive blood sugar trend monitoring wearable, and I was touching the wrong wrist, wearable and software. So I'll go ahead and get right to the updates. Like I said, some of these may have already been on my last video, but I just wanted to come on here again and kind of recap. And I do have a couple new updates. So one of the biggest announcements would be that the blood sugar trend measurement is going to be available on the Helo LX as well. So for those of us like me that already have the Helo LX, we thought that we weren't going to be able to use that software for the blood sugar monitoring, and it will be available. So it won't be as accurate as the new device that's coming out, but it is an option for you if you already have a Helo, and that's the Helo LX. The new Helo LX Plus will be available, the last time that I heard, it's going to be available the end of January, the last week of January, and that will offer 9 levels of monitoring for the blood sugar. And the way that I understand that is it will pull your blood sugar numbers and then track it to a range. There's 9 different ranges from low to high. It'll map your numbers to a range. And of course, if you're checking your blood sugar already, you'll be able to kind of calibrate on your own. You'll be able to check your device and then kind of calibrate on your own. That way you kind of know and have an idea of where you match up with those levels. So the announcement at CES that goes along with that is there's going to be a software package that goes along with the LX Plus, and there's also a device coming out that's called the Extends. And what it is, it looks like when you go to the doctor and they check your blood oxygen level on your finger, that's exactly what it looks like. So you stick your finger in there along with your Helo on your wrist, and it will give you it'll monitor and give you a reading for the blood sugar trend. So that's how that's going to work. It's kind of an interim right now because future state in 2019, I don't know when in 2019, but in a future state, The finger part that you put your finger in is going to be built into the actual wearable. So that technology is coming where it will be built into the wearable. And that version will also, they're going to be trying to obtain the medical device license for that one. So that's future state. I know that it's at least until 2019. Sometimes, with technology, things get pushed out, so it's possible that could happen, but I know that that's not in the foreseeable near future within the next few months. So that's that. There's a lot of you that I've messaged on here, and I've said I'll follow up with you the end of January, the last week in January. The software for the blood sugar is being announced in February when it's going to be ready. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, it'll be ready in February, but they've said that they're going to announce it in February. So that's kind of why I was following up with a lot of you that have expressed interest, just to make sure you're still interested. As I had on that post that I ran, I had over 500 people comment that they were interested. So I reached back out to a lot of you, and I'm kind of checking to see if you're still interested. If you are, I'm moving you over to my list that I'm going to follow up with the end of January. If you're not, no worries. I'm just kind of moving you out of the way because I have so many people that are interested that I have to follow up with. So that's why I've been asking you if you're still interested, so I can when I find out, I can let you guys know when it's coming as far as the software goes, and then the prices as well. Because I don't have a price yet on the Helo, and I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm sure that's going to be part of a bundle, the Helo and the software package, but I don't have any specifics on that yet. So I'm hoping that I should know that soon. So thank you all for being patient. I'm kind of just waiting for the company to release that information, and I haven't heard much yet. So to be determined, that'll still be coming. I wanted to see if you guys had seen the alcohol transdermal sensor on the Helo that's coming in 2019. I posted a demo on the wall here in the page. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest that you watch it. So basically what's happening is in the US, and I'll say that here because I know I have a lot of international viewers. In the US here, we have a process where if somebody gets a DUI, so they're driving under the influence, they're caught, with a blood alcohol limit that is past the legal limit, in some circumstances, they have to wear an ankle monitoring bracelet on their ankle, and it's constantly reading their blood alcohol content. That company that makes those sensors is going to be, well, they actually already are partnered with Global, and they're going to be incorporating that technology from those ankle bracelets into the Helo that you wear on your wrist, which is absolutely mind-blowing that we're going to be able to do that. Because the ankle bracelets currently, if you've seen them before, they're super clunky, super big. You can't take them off. They have to have like a special key from law enforcement that takes them off. But the representative from that company was there at the convention in Las Vegas, and he did a demo, and it's on the wall. So I would definitely suggest you take a look at it. Watch the demo. It shows within 10 seconds of drinking that your blood alcohol level is starting to rise, and it monitors your blood alcohol, and it monitors how it's going, how it's trending, and it's a smart app where it learns based on your input. So let's say you go out for a night of drinking, it's monitoring your blood alcohol. If you go above, if you go above 0.08, which I think is the legal limit in, I think he said all states actually. Once you reach 0.09, it will prompt you that you are above the legal limit, you cannot drive, and you click a little button in the app on your phone, and it takes you into your rideshare app. So if you have Uber set up, or if you have Lyft set up on your phone, it will take you right into that app, help you schedule a ride, and you're good to go. It'll also, the next morning, if you've been out drinking at night, next morning, it'll say, hey, like for me, hey Melissa, you did some drinking last night. How do you feel this morning? And it'll give me some answers that I can answer. It'll say like, you know, I feel sick, I feel okay, I have a headache, and I'm not exactly sure what those specific answers are, but it gives you some multiple choice answers, and you pick that, and it stores that information for later. And again, it's learning your behavior, it's learning your tolerance. So the next time you're out drinking, when you're approaching that limit of what you had before and you woke up the next morning with a hangover, it'll give you an alert and it'll say, hey Melissa, the last time that you drank like this, you woke up the next morning with a hangover. Probably you should watch what you're doing. So that is awesome. There's no other technology like that either. So we've got the blood sugar trend measurement and the blood alcohol level monitoring that no other company has, which is just absolutely amazing. And then I wanted to mention that we had some celebrities stop by our booth. We had Shaquille O'Neal, who is a famous basketball player here in the United States. I think he's retired now. He stopped by the booth. A couple people got to take their picture with him. And Mark Cuban stopped by the booth, which is awesome. He is from Shark Tank. He's an investor, very well-known entrepreneur. And I guess there were quite a few companies that stopped by the booth there at CES and offered to invest money and wanted to partner with the company. So there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for World coming out of the CES show. I also heard that there was somebody from Apple that stopped by the booth, and when they saw the blood sugar trend measurements, they went, oh, they could not believe that that was being demoed at the show, because I read an article, and I posted it here on the wall, that Apple just recently came out and said they're nowhere near close to being able to monitor blood sugar at all. So they were very surprised by that. One other update, the LX Plus does have the new clinical grade sensors, and then it also has the UV window on top of the device. So those are two new features for that. It also, of course, has the open API. I could not tell you what the API stands for, but what it means is that any developer can come to us that wants to develop an app that goes and works with the Helo. They are available and open to do that. So what that means basically is when you buy the Helo, it may only be able to do the things that it does today. However, with that open platform, the open API, developers are constantly creating apps, so they're going to enhance what's already on there and create new technology and new apps for you to monitor your vitals or anything else. Actually, it's really kind of open to whatever's out there, whatever they can think of. So whereas those other wearables that you buy, like Fitbit, for example, when you buy that, that's what you're getting. There's going to be no improvements. There's no app store. You'd have to buy a new one for any kind of upgrades. So that's another thing that sets us apart, where we are able to add new functionality, and then you just go through an update like you do with your phone, and then you have access to those new features and functions. I already talked to you about future state, applying for a medical device license, and that also, I'm pretty sure, will be the one that they're trying to get FDA approval for. So that's all coming down in the future. The BioZen, I haven't talked much about that on here, just a little bit. It's a little chip that you put on your phone, your tablet, your router, and all those things emit the electrosmog, which can really kind of interfere with your brain. And that was now classified as a Class 1 medical device. So I'll post some information here for you guys on that. I'm actually about to put in my first order for that for the kids and I, so we can put it on all of our devices because it's absolutely amazing. It literally cuts down the electrosmog to 0. So that's awesome. And then they also announced that we will be going back next year to CES in 2019. So I can't even imagine what's going to happen with that. But it sounds like it's going to be amazing, especially with the alcohol sensor debuting next year and the Helo 2.0. So as always, if you guys have questions, please comment below or go ahead and send me a message. Happy to answer your questions. Like I said, that one post that I did had over 500 comments, so I've been trying to follow up with between 400 to 500 people on a regular basis. So sometimes it takes me a little while to answer your questions, but I promise I will circle back and get to you as soon as I can. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful evening or a wonderful morning, depending on where you are when you watch this. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.